There is a version of you that does not yet exist, a colder version, a more precise version, a version so relentlessly disciplined that if you met him today, you would hesitate, you might even fear him, because he does not negotiate with weakness, he does not argue with emotion, he does not break promises to himself. Most people misunderstand discipline. They think it's about waking up early, eating clean, or grinding harder than everyone else. That's surface level. Real discipline is violent. It is the daily execution of your weaker impulses. It is looking at fatigue, distraction, insecurity, and comfort and crushing them without discussion. Machiavelli never wrote for the gentle. He wrote for the strategic. He understood that in a chaotic world, power belongs to those who are unmoved by internal storms. To hold influence, you cannot be soft. You cannot be predictable. You must become elemental, like gravity, like winter, like time. When you reach that level of discipline, something shifts. People don't just respect you, they grow uneasy around you. They sense that you cannot be persuaded by guilt, you cannot be baited by emotion. You cannot be manipulated through praise or shame. A man who has conquered his own mind is immune to the tactics of others. And that is intimidating. You are here because you are tired, but not physically. You are exhausted by your own inconsistency. You are tired of setting goals in the morning and betraying them by afternoon. Tired of watching others rise while you remain trapped in cycles of motivation followed by collapse. You want a mind that doesn't fold. Good. But understand this. What we are about to discuss is not self-improvement. It is self-elimination. The weak version of you must die for the disciplined one to live. The transformation begins not with addition, but subtraction. Phase 1. The discipline of silence. Everyone broadcasts now. They post their ambitions, announce their new routines, declare transformations before a single difficult day has passed. They seek validation for effort they haven't even expended, and in doing so, they release the tension required for execution. Machiavelli observed that most people only see appearance. Very few understand substance. The average man advertises his intentions. The disciplined man moves quietly. Stop announcing. Stop explaining. Stop seeking approval for becoming dangerous. Silence builds pressure. When you withdraw from constant exposure, people become unsettled. They wonder what you are building. They project their insecurities onto your absence. Silence protects intent. Work in darkness. Make mistakes privately. Correct them without commentary. Build strength without interference. Disappear for months if necessary. No speeches, no declarations, just execution. Remove cheap dopamine. Remove distracting voices. Remove the friends who only like you when you are small. Then return different, not louder, heavier. Your posture will speak. Your stillness will communicate more than any caption ever could. Explanations are for those seeking permission. Power does not justify itself. It manifests. If you are exhausted, work. If you are wounded, heal. If you are succeeding, remain silent. Results speak with a voice that echoes longer than words ever could. Phase 2. Emotional alchemy. Disciplined men are not emotionless. They feel everything. They craving for comfort, the desire to quit, the sting of rejection. The difference? They do not obey those feelings. Machiavelli understood that people are governed by love or fear. You cannot rely on loving the process. Passion is unstable. It flickers and dies. You need something colder. Duty. Discipline means acting in direct opposition to how you feel. It is emotional alchemy, turning "I don't want to" into "I did it anyway." Did. If you only operate when motivated, you are predictable. And predictable men are easy to defeat. But if you train harder when you are heartbroken, focus deeper when you are angry, execute when you are exhausted, you become immune to circumstance. Treat emotion like weather. It may rain, it may storm. You acknowledge it, but you do not cancel the mission because of it. You are the ruler. Your emotions are citizens, not kings. When the alarm rings, move before your brain begins negotiating. Count down, act. Do not consult comfort. The body obeys command. Over time, you rewire yourself. Your output no longer depends on your mood. That is freedom. Phase 3. Isolation as a weapon. Power requires distance. A ruler cannot depend on those who crumble under pressure. Look at your circle carefully. Are they driven or distracted? Most people fear being alone. They drown silence in noise. They scroll because their thoughts accuse them. Isolation exposes truth, and truth is uncomfortable. To build unshakable discipline, you must tolerate solitude. That means walking away from environments that reward mediocrity. As you rise, some will resent you, not because they hate you, but because your growth highlights their stagnation. Let them misunderstand. Isolation is not loneliness. It is refinement. Lock the door, turn off the phone, face the work. In solitude, you meet your demons, boredom, doubt, resistance. Defeat them privately, and you walk publicly with unshakable composure. A man comfortable alone does not cling, and the world gravitates toward those who do not cling. Phase 4. The power of unpredictability. Machiavelli warned leaders against total predictability. Love depends on obligation. Obligation breaks when convenient, but fear of consequence preserves order. Applied to discipline, this means eliminating emotional volatility. When you are inconsistent, people know your breaking points. They know when you will fold. But when you become steady, unmoved by insult, crisis, or loss, you become unreadable. Someone insults you, you continue, you lose money, you rebuild. Chaos erupts, you analyze. Manipulators rely on reaction. Remove reaction, and you remove their leverage. Consistency becomes intimidation. Not loud, not aggressive, inevitable. Like a glacier, slow, silent, crushing everything in its path. Stop broadcasting wounds, stop seeking sympathy. Vulnerability has its place, but public fragility invites exploitation. Stand firm, speak less, move deliberately. Eventually, your composure becomes reality. Phase 5, the standard of the absolute. You fail because your standards are negotiable. You accept almost. You tolerate good enough. Empires fall from softness, not invasion. Modern comfort is seductive. Endless entertainment, instant gratification, unlimited distraction. Luxury breeds weakness. To remain disciplined in a soft world is rebellion. Declare war on comfort. Wake earlier than necessary. Demand more from yourself than anyone expects. Guard your time ruthlessly. Time is the only currency that cannot be earned back. Stop debating trivialities. Stop entertaining nonsense. Be brief, be direct, be scarce. Scarcity creates value. When your standards are absolute, mediocrity feels uncomfortable around you. Some will mock you. Let them. It is easier to ridicule excellence than to pursue it. Climb higher, the air thins, the competition disappears. Phase 6. The death of the former self-transformation requires burial. You must kill the version of you that needs approval, the one that apologizes for ambition, the one that clings to old identities. You are at war with your past habits. If you do not eliminate them, they will sabotage your future. Growth is uncomfortable. It costs friendships. It costs familiarity. It costs validation. Pay the tax. On the other side is rebirth, a leaner mind, a colder focus, a man who sees reality as strategy, not fantasy. This version of you may frighten even you. Good. Power should feel heavy. But understand, this is not tyranny over others. It is sovereignty over yourself. And sovereignty changes presence. When you walk into a room with total internal control, people adjust. They may not know why, but they sense gravity. You no longer fear failure. Failure becomes data. You no longer fear the future. You are constructing it. You no longer fear people. You know they cannot outwork you. That is freedom. Cold, lonely, powerful. The herd offers warmth and safety, but no control. The wolf endures winter but owns the mountain. Choose. Machiavelli wrote from exile, stripped of status. Yet in isolation, he forged ideas that shaped centuries. Your discipline is your fortress. Money can be taken, reputation can collapse, position can vanish. But your ability to endure, untouchable. The world is softening, become harder. The world is distracted, become focused. The world is loud, become still. You will unsettle people, not because you try to, but because you embody what they avoid becoming. Let them whisper, you have work to do. The old you is finished. Now build the one you haven't met yet.